Who else has a problem that they're dealing with? You do, sir. Stand up. How you doing? What's your name? Todd. How you doing, Todd? Where are you from? Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Awesome. All right, Todd, what's your challenge right now? What are you dealing with?
Just prospecting, picking up
Prospecting.
the phone. I like go in spurts where I talk to people and then I just stop. And I just can't figure out why.
Yeah. So, you were excited about talking about South Dakota, and then you got really, really quiet.
Because I'm not prospecting.
Yeah. So tell me about that. What causes you to get so small? You got really, really small. Did you notice?
I did.
As soon as the topic prospecting came up, you just went shoo, and you got small. Why?
Well, for about 3 years I went through a divorce.
Ah.
And it was horrible.
Yep.
And when I look back, I think that dragged me down so much that I'm just trying to find a way back up. And it's been a very hard struggle.
Yeah. When did this happen?
It started in 11 and it went through about 14.
2011 to 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Divorce is a traumatic thing, isn't it?
Very.
Yeah. It's a loss that you have to deal with. Let me ask you this: was it ultimately the right thing?
In the long run, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, are both of you going to be better off?
Yeah, it took a long time to talk to her again, but
yes,
we are, yeah.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. All of us have dealt with challenge. How many people have dealt with heartache at some point in your life? Heartache. You've had a breakup, you've lost a loved one, somebody died in the family. Heartache of some sort. The challenge, Todd, is if you live there,
yes,
then you're going to be in that emotional, traumatic, difficult state for the next 10 years. The decision that you've got to make is how many years do you want to suffer?
yes. I don't want to suffer anymore.
You don't want to suffer. How many, because that's the challenge for everybody. How many years do you want to deal with emotional trauma and replay that loop every day to let yourself feel worse, to make yourself feel less confident? Right?
Right.
To buy into, because sometimes there are some harsh words that are said in a divorce, yes?
Yes, very.
And those harsh words, sometimes we can buy into that and we can accept that as part of our being, right?
Yes.
Yep. Like you're nothing.
Yep.
You know, like you're a bad person, you're a piece of shit.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
These words happen in relationships. These words happen, but you can't control what anybody else says, but you can control what you believe. And you can also forgive her and forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. Own the challenges that you created in the situation. Own that. Grieve that. But then ultimately, let it go.
Yes.
Because I will tell you this, until you let this go, yeah. It's all right, man. It's all right. It's okay. There you go, look around. All right, Todd. All right, everybody have a seat. Careful, you might end up with a new girlfriend. Here's the thing, Todd. Sometimes we can take the trauma of life, and I want you to all hear this because you've all had trauma. You've all had loss. You've all had heartache. You've all had tough words. You've all had experiences that you have allowed to define you. And you don't have to let that define you for the rest of your life. You can decide You can decide not to live in a state of suffering. A state of pain and a state of suffering are two different things.
Yes, yeah, it is.
You can be in pain, but you don't have to be in suffering.
Right.
Suffering's a choice. And part of what you're doing is just beating yourself up.
I am.
Day after day after day after day.
Yes.
And Todd, you look like a little mouse.
It's the first time I've talked to
And
20,000
you
people.
talk to, I understand. But if you were really free, and if you really put this, you respected it, you don't forget it. It's a piece of your journey. It was important. It's part of your moving forward in life, and you're going to be stronger because of it. You're going to be a better partner to whoever shows up in your life in the future. You're going to learn from this, right?
Yes.
And if you truly were able to release the suffering, not the pain, but the suffering, what would your body look like? How would you hold your body if you really were able to let it go?
Oh, it would be so much of a relief.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
It's way more here than it is here.
Yeah.
You know why prospecting is hard?
Because I'm still holding the pain of the divorce.
Yes. Yes.
A lot.
If I come to you, like, I want to tell you about my opportunity.
Yes. Yes.
But if I come to you, having lived a full life, guess what builds rapport? Having gone through pain.
Yes.
You have the ability to connect with somebody else who's gone through difficulty, to be able to talk to them about their challenge, to be able to say, yes, I experienced it too.
Right.
I experienced the pain and I chose to walk away from the suffering piece of it.
Yes.
And I developed a new muscle that when suffering showed up, I killed that monster.
Right.
I killed that little tiny being before it became a monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Kill the suffering early. You can be in physical pain. You can still be in joy.
Right.
Right? You don't have to accept suffering. So here's what I'm going to tell you, Todd.
Okay.
The obstacle becomes the opportunity. The obstacle for us was an opportunity to talk about what was the real issue.
Yes.
The real issue has nothing to do with your opportunity, has nothing to do with really with your skills, because you'll figure all that stuff out.
Right.
But when you put your chin up, you put your shoulders back, you put a smile on your face and in your heart, and you go talk to people about an opportunity to flex their entrepreneurial muscle, I promise you, they're going to see the joy in you and not the pain, and they'll be attracted to joy, and they'll be not attracted to the suffering that's happening in your life right now.
Wow.
Give Todd a big round of applause. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you very much, Bill.